And we're back for our daily NBA predictions and best bets here for Thursday, April 24th. We continue the NBA playoffs, obviously, with 3 game threes. The first game threes to get going with the NBA. Knicks, Pistons in Detroit. Thunder, Grizzlies over at the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. And Nuggets and Clippers over in Inglewood. Some huge games, and then Thunder, Grizzlies happens. We'll get to all those and more, all those games in a second, folks. And if you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions and best bets here on the channel. Later today, or earlier today, we posted our MLB best bets. Make sure to check that out. That is linked in the description down below, along with our UFC Fight Night Kansas City full card predictions over on Greedo Plays MMA. Ian Machado Gary takes on the Fighting Nerds' own Carlos Prates. Again, that's linked in the description down below on Greedo Plays MMA. Go subscribe over there. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And also subscribe on this channel as well. Okay, on to the first of our 3 games today. Pistons Knicks. Give me Detroit. Guys, I said this yesterday. I've been saying this since that game 2 played in New York. I think that the Pistons are winning this series now. I think they are. I was very critical about the New York Knicks throughout the course of the regular season. 100% I was. But I started to, convince myself as, we were going down the stretch of the season, Brunson gets healthy, and, you watch that game 1, the great comeback that they had in the fourth quarter. I was like, all right, I think the Knicks will probably get Detroit. After watching that game 2, I have been convinced, no, Detroit will probably end up winning the series. And it all starts with this game number 3. I am leaning towards the fact I think the Pistons are going to win the next 2. Right now, I think it's going to be Pistons in 6. I think Detroit wins game 3 and 4. Games 3 and 4. I think the Knicks will get their game 5 at home. But I think we go back to Detroit and the Pistons win. Guys, the Pistons haven't hosted a playoff game in Lord knows how long. I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure it's the Blake Griffin year. I think it has to be. Prior to that, I think it was when they got swept by the Cavs in 4 games. But they came back. They got another shot in the playoffs in either 18. I think it was 18 with Blake Griffin. Anyways, I think it was 18. I saw Malik Beasley, by the way, tweet out that Detroit's going to be rocking more than the Garden. I don't know about that, but I'm sure, again, that the fan base is going to get behind this team in a series where it's very winnable for them against New York. You look at that game, too, competitive first half. Obviously, the Pistons are up, I believe, 6 at half, and that second half was just, New York trying to close that gap the entire second half, right? Down by 6-ish the entire half, and obviously Detroit ended up winning by exactly 6 points. Cade Cunningham, he's a problem for the Knicks. He really is. He is a problem for that New York team. They can't find a way to stop him underneath. He's getting to the free throw line constantly, 12 free throws in that game, 11 for 21 from the field. And that's another big thing that's happened in this series so far, the free throw discrepancy. Detroit, and that's, again, and this isn't like a ref ball type thing. It's just how these two teams play. New York, a very prominent shooting team. They're trying to get the ball on the perimeter. They're trying to take their shots from the outside. Detroit, a team that, will shoot their fair share of three-pointers with guys like Malik Beasley, who went 1 for 8 in their last game, with Beasley, with Tim Hardaway, like Dennis Schroeder. And trust me, I'll get to Beasley and Hardaway in a second here and how they're going to play a big role in this game. But anyways, right, that's just how Detroit plays, right? With Cade Cunningham getting to the line. The fact that the Knicks are going to have to keep fouling Jalen Duren to keep him from, scoring, more than 15 points. Asar Thompson's a guy that they're going to hack a lot. Now, Thompson not the best free throw shooter, but that's just how Detroit plays. Obviously, with the Knicks, this team had a really rough night shooting in game 2. I mean, both these teams, it's been a struggle for both these teams through the first 2 games, right? The Knicks end up, going on their run in the fourth quarter in game 1. They ended up with 123 points. But that second game between the Knicks and the Pistons was such a struggle offensively for both teams, right? The Knicks don't even reach 100 points. That's kind of what we've been seeing in the playoffs so far. Hell, look at the Lakers and Timberwolves game a couple days ago. But I'll get to the Pistons shooting struggles in a second. New York, Jalen Brunson goes 4 for 12 from beyond the arc. Mikal Bridges goes 3 for 11. Obviously, Bridges can't hit a big 3, or couldn't hit a big 3 in game 2 to get New York back in the basketball game. Again, I know that's going to be talked about a lot, the Mikal Bridges trade to New York, and how the Nets are going to potentially try to flip the picks they got from Mikal Bridges for Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't know if that's going to happen, but after the Bucks get swept or lose in 5 games, maybe, the price on Giannis will be there for Brooklyn to acquire him. Regardless, Mikal Bridges isn't, he's a good number 3. He's not a championship number 3, though. He's not a championship number 3 option. Cat has kind of just been non-existent. Well, at least in game 2, he was non-existent. Jalen Brunson didn't have his best night, but again, it was still a Jalen Brunson type night. At the same time, I stated that really poorly. Brunson scored 37 points, right? A lot of those came from the free throw line. It felt like he was missing a lot of big threes in that game. And in the end, he did go 4 for 12 from beyond the arc, 12 for 27 from the field. Again, maybe not the best efficiency-wise night, but Brunson, again, is the guy who's going to put points on the board for them. Obviously, had some big three-pointers in the fourth quarter. But again, ultimately, the Pistons pulled away. And Detroit ended up winning this game with their best three-point shooter and one of the best three-point shooters in the league this year, Malik Beasley, going 1 for 8 from the three-point line. And at the same time, Tim Hardaway, who starts for this team, gave him 21 minutes, 0 for 8 from the field, and 0 of 6 from the three-point line. Right? You know, if anything, that's encouraging for the Pistons because that's what ended up, like, they still won this game and they didn't shoot particularly well at all. So ultimately, I think they beat the Knicks here tonight. I don't trust in I don't trust in their shooting. I really don't. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, Brunson, again, he'll hit big shots. Mikal Bridges, But like Anunoby goes 0 for 4 from the three-point line in that game. He goes 4 for 10 from the field. I saw, Suni Lee in the front row doesn't really help him out. Maybe they thought it was, I thought it was probably going to, encourage Bro. But Cat doesn't have his best night. Miles McBride had a couple big shots. Great. I don't know why Cameron Payne only played 4 minutes. He was a big part of that run in game 1. I don't know. I'm not sold on the Knicks right now at all. And I think Detroit's going to beat them tonight. I think Cade Cunningham continues to play phenomenal basketball because that's simply put just what he does. The playoffs, the lights have not been too bright for this guy. And Dennis Schroeder, obviously, when that game was tied in the fourth quarter, it's a pull-up three-pointer to give him the three-point lead. Schroeder's playing clutch time minutes. This is a guy who has been on multiple teams this season, felt disrespected by the Golden State Warriors because he did not get his own post in his farewell after being waived. He did not wave back. But Dennis Schroeder has been playing some big-time basketball for this Pistons team in the playoffs, and I think the Pistons win this game at home. Again, this is the closest spread we're going to get all day, so we're all over it. And I'm very surprised Detroit is an underdog right now, but sign me up. Plus 100 for the Detroit Pistons. Their first home game in the postseason in over 7 years, and they have a legitimate chance. Again, they're not just coming back home as an 8 seed ready to get slaughtered. No, they are tied 1-1 and have a legitimate chance to win this series. Ultimately, I think they're going to, but we expect a big night tonight out of Cade Cunningham. I think Tim Hardaway and Malik Beasley bounce back shooting-wise, and we're taking the Detroit Pistons to beat the New York Knicks here at home at the Little Caesars Arena. Pistons money line is where it's at tonight, plus 100 for the home team. To our second game of the night. I kind of wish like the sim to end button was a thing for this series. Like, in 2K, right? You can sim to end and, you can just end the series. I kind of wish that's what was going on with Thunder Grizzlies. Why is this game still on TNT? Like, does the NBA not have the option like the NFL does to flex games? Because this is 100% a game that needs to be flexed. Why is this on TNT? Why? It has no reason to be on national television. Nobody's watching this game over the Nuggets and Clippers, which is unfortunately on NBA TV. Now, honestly, I like watching regional broadcasts better most of the time, unless it's, Ian Eagle on commentary, which he rarely is, that feels like at this point for the NBA. Or Spiro. Those two guys I mess with. Actually, Kevin Harlan's not bad. Okay. I just dislike the halftime presentation a lot, not gonna lie. As much as I used to like Inside the NBA, it gets annoying to watch. Regardless, I'm going off on a tangent here. Nuggets Clippers should be on prime time, but instead we got Thunder Grizzlies on TNT. Okay. We're taking the Thunder here, and we're taking them in a game that's not going to end up being that close, I believe. This is a blowout. I don't care the game's in Memphis. I legitimately don't care. You can get into this game, by the way, you can get into this game, into the building, for $2. That's how excited the Memphis faithful is for this basketball game. Yeah. This is a blowout. No one's telling me otherwise. They just played 48 hours ago, and the Thunder blew them out. Yes, it was a closer game than the first, because the first game was a 51-point blowout. And yes, SGA has been kind of, extremely inefficient so far in the playoffs. Had 27 points in their last game on 29 shots. Shot 33% from the field. It is what it is. I fully expect Shea to be better in big-time series in this playoffs, especially the next one where they get either Denver or the Clippers. Probably the Clippers. I just don't know what the Grizzlies offer them, guys. I'm serious. I don't know what Memphis is going to give this team. I thought that the first 3 quarters against OKC was probably as good as they can play. The first quarter was bad for the Grizz 100%, but I don't know what else they can do. I don't know. Jaren Jackson actually had a really efficient night. He scored 26 points on 10 to 17 shooting. John Morant could have been better. I'll give you that. I guess Desmond Bane just didn't hit all of his shots. I mean, Bane goes 2 for 7 from beyond the arc. Obviously, when Bane's at his best, look at games in the regular season. Look at the game against the Golden State Warriors, right, in the play-in. If Bane's shooting the ball like that, obviously he's going to give Memphis a chance to win. So I think maybe that's like the one thing you can look at it for Memphis and say, okay, if Desmond Bane's better in this spot, maybe they're more competitive. But guys, I don't know how they're competitive with the Thunder at all. SGA could sit the rest of the series and the Thunder would still win. SGA and Chet could probably sit for the rest of the series and they'd still win this series. That's just how good the Thunder are, right? I still would like to believe the Los Angeles Lakers can beat the Thunder in a 7-game series. I still think they can. Luka and LeBron are on that team. But ultimately, I don't know if any team other than them in the West are going to be able to take OKC. The Clippers, potentially. I really like that team. Like, not personally, but just watching them right now, they're playing lights out, and we'll get to the Clippers in a few moments here. I just don't know. The Grizzlies are competitive tonight. The game being in Memphis, to me, doesn't really change much. OKC is a team that has played fairly well on the road this year. Their road and home record were basically identical in the regular season. I think they had 2 more wins at home, but they're not that poor of a road squad. We know what this team brings offensively. They're the best defense in the NBA as well. It's tough. It's tough for the Grizz. There's going to be some serious questions that are going to need to be answered for Memphis in the offseason, obviously after another failed playoff run, and a playoff run where you don't even get past the first round. Again, you remember 2 years ago, 2 seed, well, you lose in 6 games to the Lakers, right? Now what's going to happen when you lose in the first and get swept by the Thunder in one of the biggest mismatches in NBA postseason history? Because ultimately, that's what this is. It's just what it is, right? I said it earlier. This should be a sim to end type game where let's just get it over with, hope nobody gets injured. The Thunder outmatch them everywhere on the court. They just do. The bigs, the Grizz are outmatched. SGA, I know, again, SGA hasn't even been efficient yet. And the Thunder are still winning by 20-plus points in every game. So, if Shea has a great game in the series, what the hell's the final score going to be then? Right? Shea's, again, he's the MVP. He's the best player in the sport. It's a given that he's going to have a better night soon. What the hell's the final score going to look like then? The game in Memphis doesn't mean anything to me. You know, Grizzlies fans know this is over. That's why tickets are $5 at most to get in the building tonight, because Grizz fans know they can't win this game. They know they can't win this series. I think the Grizzlies know that too. Yeah, the game in Memphis literally means nothing to me. The Thunder are so much better than Memphis. They are, 6-0 against them, 5-0 against them all year long. That is not changing. The Thunder are too dynamic. They're too good of a team. And the Oklahoma City Thunder are going up 3 games to nothing in this series here against the Memphis Grizzlies. We move on to our next best bet and our final game of the day. We go to the Intuit Dome. The Los Angeles Clippers take on the Denver Nuggets. The Clippers get their home game after splitting in Denver. Ultimately, that's all they needed to do. You just needed to get one. And that's what they got. They got 1 game in Denver. They win game 2 after almost taking game 1. Now, both these games have been ultra competitive between the Nuggets and the Clippers. But my goodness, the game Kawhi Leonard had in game 2 against the Nuggets. I like how, by the way, all the social media accounts, Bleacher Report, ESPN, NBA Central, they're all posting, oh, we got Raptors Kawhi Leonard tonight, which is crazy to me that prime Kawhi Leonard is literally just 1 season, but it is what it is, whatever. Kawhi was excellent. He was, right? I mean, up until the 4th quarter, Kawhi was, I remember this, I think it was 10 for 11 from the field, and he had, high 20s points. It's ridiculous. Playoff Kawhi Leonard is real. This guy shows up in the big moment, and when Kawhi Leonard is scoring like that, on top of what James Harden and Ivica Zubac do, on top of the potential, shooting from Norman Powell, who was ice cold in the series until that big 3 hit to ultimately propel the Clippers to victory. If all of that is going for Los Angeles, they're a threat. They're more than a threat. I said at the beginning of the playoffs, I think the 3 best teams in the West are Thunder, Lakers, Clippers. I think the Clippers are still beating Denver. I think they're going to get them in 6 games as I see it right now. I think they're going to win both of these. I think it's going to go exactly actually how I think that Pistons Knicks series is going to go. I think the Clippers are going to win the next 2. Denver will get their home game in game 5 and win, but I think the Clippers will end things in game 6. I expect the Clippers to be even better now because they're at home, right? Jokic, I guess, didn't have a good game in his last one? I mean, okay, you're going to look at these stats on paper and say 26, 11, and 10, that's great, you know? Normal players and non-MVPs would love to have that line, obviously, right? And that's a great line for pretty much anybody in the league. For Jokic, right, the turnover in the last possession of the game, or second to last possession for the game for the Nuggets, the missed 3 at the end of the game as well. Again, we're nitpicking stuff here, but the 7 turnovers for Jokic, 8 for 16 shooting, it is what it is, but 6 for 10 from the free throw line. For Nikola Jokic's standards, that's not a great basketball game. It's just not, right? He needs to be, again, and that's just, but the thing is, okay, Jokic put up 26, 11, and 10, and this team still lost, right? And again, it was a close game, but that just kind of shows where the Nuggets are at. They need Jokic to be Superman. They just do. Jamal Murray did not have a bad game at all. He was pretty solid. Michael Porter Jr., I guess, a little bit better. Aaron Gordon just was okay. Christian Braun missed some big shots, and Russell Westbrook off the bench actually is giving them really decent production. He's really the only guy off the bench that really plays. Peyton Watson will play some, and I saw they played 5 minutes of DeAndre Jordan. Immediately, they subbed him right out because, the Nuggets realized you can't play DeAndre Jordan in the big 2025 in the postseason against his former team. I just think the Nuggets are outmatched, personally. I think they're really outmatched. I think the Clippers are a much better team. I think they have way more, guys who can hurt you. Everyone on their offense can score except for potentially Chris Dunn. But if Dunn can start hitting that corner 3-pointer, which the Nuggets are going to let them have this entire series, because, again, Chris Dunn's out there for his defense, similar to how the Clippers are going to approach Russell Westbrook when he's on the court. If Dunn can start hitting 3-pointers, not even at a consistent rate, but at a Russell Westbrook rate, just series over. Because then you kind of have to give some respect to Chris Dunn, or he's just going to knock down that 3 in the corner, and that takes away the potential double on Kawhi Leonard. It takes away the potential double on Zubac down lower, even if you're guarding the high pick and roll of James Harden. I don't see how Denver is going to win the series. I don't think they win this game. Guys, that first half was horrible for the Clippers, and they go into the halftime locker room up 2. They went on a big run at the end of the second quarter. Kawhi Leonard was the only guy producing at all. Zubac was scoring some too, but they get big Bogdanovic minutes, and he comes on the court, goes 0 for 5, bricks every single mid-range, and the 1 3-pointer he shot as well. I'd expect it to be a lot cleaner of a game, though, for the Clippers this time around. I think this is going to be one of these nights where the Clippers get out to a hot start early, and they just start raining threes the entire game. And I just don't think Denver personally is going to be able to keep up. I don't think so. They don't play defense either. Yes, Denver's been playing better defense. It's still not on par with Los Angeles's, I don't think. The only reason, again, the sole reason the Nuggets are competitive in this series is because Nikola Jokic is on their team. That's the only reason why this series is even tied. Russell Westbrook, played well at the end of game 1. But again, you take away Jokic from this team, and what are they, right? And if Jokic is turning the ball over 7 times in one game, right? I mean, Jokic played every single minute of the second half, and they still lost. For the Nuggets to win, again, Jamal Murray's going to have to be more consistent from beyond the arc. Again, he went 4 for 8, but I'm serious. Jamal Murray's going to have to go 6 for 8 for them to win a game like this. They need Aaron Gordon to play better, simply put. And they're going to need to find a way to stop the claw. But Kawhi has burned them all series long. He burned them, obviously, with the big middies he's been hitting. Hell, with that steal on the Nuggets, basically last possession of the game, or second to last possession of the game, where he snags that ball. He's the claw for a reason, right? Snags that ball in the Jokic pass. Kawhi's been killing them. And maybe, again, the rest during the regular season, not playing back-to-backs at all, being out for months, being out for potentially, weeks at a time during the regular season, I guess it's paying off. Because ultimately, the Clippers got in the playoffs without Kawhi Leonard playing every single night. They still won 50 games. And now they're 3 games away from moving on to the Western Conference semifinals. And I think after tonight, they will be 2 games away from the Western Conference semifinals, we are taking the Los Angeles Clippers to win at home against the Denver Nuggets and cover the 5.5 points as well. I'm taking Clippers here to cover and to win, and I think they'll continue to ride this before eventually winning this series in 6 games. So we're taking the Clippers here in the nightcap. We also have the Thunder to run right through the Memphis Grizzlies. And also in the early game, we have the Detroit Pistons to take care of business at home in their first home playoff game in quite a while against the New York Knicks. So folks, thank you all for watching our NBA predictions and best bets here for this Thursday, April 24th slate. If you have not yet though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank you all for watching, and Mamba forever.